And another one with some form is number 14 with the star, Peter Scudamore, looking serious as ever, but as he says, it's a serious business winning races. Would you believe it? This one is by Stormbird, the great Stormbird, marvellous 2-year-old that one, and Peter just giving Wingspan a pat down the neck, a reassuring pat there. Well, this one finished 5th to Crabensis in the Triumph Hurdle, just behind South Parade, and prior to that had set up 3 wins in a row. Very impressive animal this, and it'll be interesting to see how the Triumph Hurdle stands up. 9-1 shot at the last show. Most of the horses going down to start. Number 11 there, with Steve Smith-Eccles looking around that Surfboard, looking around having a joke with Graham Bradley. Well, Surfboard was rather disappointing in the Triumph Hurdle at Cheltenham, but prior to that he'd been anything but disappointing because he'd won his only 2 starts. And certainly I think that he's much better than he showed in the Cheltenham race. Very, very different track here today, and I'm looking for him to run a much better race. For the Duke of Roxburgh, who owns him, actually bought this son of Treborough as a foal to run with some of his other animals. Nicky Henderson trains it. Let's see if there's any money for Surfboard.
Well, yes, it's come in half a point at any rate. Surfboard opened at 7s, is now 13-2, and its 3rd favourite. But young Snugfit is the clear favourite, 9-2. Russian Affair has gone to 11-2. Surfboard 13-2. Wahiba, Royal Illusion 8-1. Calapaez and Wingspan are on 9-1, and on 11-1 South Parade and Coombermere, 12-1 bar.
There's been a lot of money for young Snugfit in the market this morning, but number 9 is Russian Affair, and this one is very fancied. He's by Red Sunset, a sprinter, but you've seen so often sprint-bred animals certainly do come on to do well over hurdles. He's owned in partnership by Peter and Noreen Hodgson and trained by Reg Akerst at Epsom, and was bought off the flat where he was a fair performer, and he's won his last 2 starts at Sandown and Kempton and specifically avoided going to Cheltenham. He's 11-2 joint favourite at the moment. Reg Akerst isn't very keen on the Cheltenham race. He thinks it's too much of a hurly-burly and preferred to dodge Cheltenham totally to come here. So this one, very impressive in his last 2 runs, and certainly will be fresh, or a lot fresher than the horses that went to Cheltenham. Now, Calapaez is the grey there, beautifully turned out, but it didn't win the prize for the best turned out. And this is Calapaez, who also ran in the Triumph Hurdle, but disappointed. Was bang there coming down the hill, but the ground was far too sticky. This horse wants decent underfoot condition, as in fact he'd shown prior to that. He'd won 4 races in a row, had been most impressive. He even took the Aurelius Hurdle at Ascot. He's a 9-1 shot. He's owned by stockbroker Robert Ellis, who's had horses for a good many years, and he's had a lot of winners too. Brooke Saunders trains him at Epsom, and she is producing a fair few winners now. It's got quite a good flat string as well. Calapaez certainly expected to show better than he did on his last run in that sticky Cheltenham ground. Now number 4 with his back to us, the Stars, Far Too Rich. This one owned by Julian Seymour and trained by Di Hayne, another trainer who preferred not to go for the big Cheltenham race but to come here instead. And Di, who's got a 16 stable yard in Newmarket, will, I think, be a very big trainer one day. 20-1 shot, Far Too Rich. He was surprisingly beaten between his 2 wins, you know, on that occasion. I think it just wasn't his form, because he was most impressive first time out. Certainly one, again, that has a chance. It's a most open race, this. Now, Altoontash is on the inside of the 2 horses there in the yellow colours, and this is a horse I saw win on the flat at Folkestone last year, trained by Michael Stout. In fact, it also won another flat race, but it was most impressive at Folkestone, sprinted away from some fairly useful animals. Well, he makes his debut over hurdles today, and although that may be a slight handicap, at least he's coming here fresh. Trained by Ian Wardle and ridden by Hugh Davis. A young Snugfit, who we saw briefly bandaged in front as he normally is, number 15 there, and in the colours that finished second in the Grand National itself a few years ago on Mr. Snugfit, the half-brother to this animal. good horse, was second to Crebensis at Huntingdon. 4-1 favourite, 6-1 bar him, and it looks as if Peter O'Sullivan is about to go with them.
Yeah, 9 flights to be jumped this time. They're under orders and they're away. Surfboard the first to show, with Combemere going on to take it up from him now, and then Old Eros going up to join him, and it's Old Eros and Combemere as they race towards the turn on the first circuit. Wingspan has gone third. Just in behind him, South Parade. That's Old Eros from Combemere and Wingspan as they come down towards the first flight. Old Eros jumps it clear of Combemere, all safely over that first flight. Old Eros lands in the lead from Combemere and Wingspan, then Altoon Tash and South Parade and Surfboard. Just in behind them, River's Secret and Favourite Guest. Old Eros lands in the lead from Combemere and Wingspan, and Altoon Tash, South Parade and Surfboard as they come down to the winning post with another full circuit in this Glenlivet anniversary hurdle. It's Old Eros and Richard Dunwoody, West Tips rider, in the lead from Combemere and Wingspan, and then Altoon Tash and South Parade, then Favourite Guest and Surfboard and Calapaez and Royal Illusion and Wahiba, with on the outside Far Too Rich, then Young Snugfit and Russian Affair, and the back marker is River's Secret. Old Eros with a commanding advantage over Combemere and Wingspan, then Altoon Tash and South Parade and Favourite Guest and Surfboard, then Wahiba and Calapaez and Royal Illusion, and then Young Snugfit and Far Too Rich, and then Russian Affair over the fourth. Old Eros is clear of Wingspan and Combemere, then South Parade and Altoon Tash and Surfboard. Young Snugfit making a little bit of progress. They come down towards the fifth of the 9 flights. Old Eros lands in the lead from Wingspan, then Combemere, then Altoon Tash, Surfboard moving up on the inside, Young Snugfit moving up on the outer, South Parade in close touch, so is Wahiba as they jump the 6th. Old Eros jumped that clear, and it's Old Eros as they begin this left-hand swing from Combemere and Wingspan and a sheepskin noseband, then Calapaez the grey towards the outside, and South Parade is making good progress. First, Surfboard's very well placed on the inner, in fact has just gone 4th. It's Old Eros now from Wingspan, Combemere, then Surfboard and Wahiba travelling well just in behind them. On this long run now towards the 3rd flight from home, Old Eros from Wingspan, Combemere, Surfboard, Wahiba and Royal Illusion. That's the order as they come down to it. 3 left to jump now. Old Eros still, and Richard Dunwoody in the lead from Combemere over on the far rail, then Wingspan, then Surfboard with the breast girth, and over on the far rail Royal Illusion. Old Eros landed in the lead there from Wahiba, who's moving well on the near side, on the left of the picture that is. Surfboard under pressure. Combemere still in second though. Royal Illusion third, and Wahiba the challenger though. Over on the far side, and it's still Old Eros the leader from Combemere, Royal Illusion, Wahiba in 4th, Surfboard 5. Coming down now to the final flight, Royal Illusion now the challenger to Old Eros. Royal Illusion and Michael Hammond land in the lead. Stumble a bit on Landy but get away with it all right. It's Royal Illusion. Royal Illusion in the lead from Combemere. Over on the far side, Old Eros. Royal Illusion from Combemere and Old Eros as they race up towards the line, and Royal Illusion is going to win the Glenlivet anniversary hurdle at the line. Royal Illusion is the winner. Old Eros is just second ahead of Combemere. It's a photo between those two. It's very close. 4th was Wahiba. Behind them came Russian Affair, and then Surfboard and Young Snugfit and Wingspan and Calapaez, and then South Parade, then Altoon Tash and Favourite Guest, and River's Secret last was Far Too Rich. And so the result is first, number 8, Royal Illusion, owned by Mr. John Lishman and Mr. S.R. Council, trained by George Moore and ridden by Michael Hammond. And it's a photo of a second place, a photo between Combemere and Old Eros, very close between those two.
This winner is one of the most improved horses in training. Won the Victor Ladorum last time out at Haydock, a race we covered. But here, just creeping through nicely in third place, that's Royal Illusion, being led by Old Eros, who set a very fast pace from the beginning. The favourite, young Snugfit, had been creeping around at the back, waiting to use up his speed, but when it came to it, there was no speed to give. He's just weakening now on the rails in about 7th place. But you can see Mickey Hammond bringing Royal Illusion between Combemere and Old Eros on the inside there, the yellow colours. Well, this one was a big surprise, you know, when it won the Victor Ladorum, because it started off the season in selling company, but he has improved out of all recognition, and what a great season George Moore is having up at Midland there. In 4th is Wahiba, and Surfboard in 5th, just running a much better race than he did at Cheltenham there, but strung out behind some of the other fancied horses. From here on in, Royal Illusion, who's by creative plan, goes for home, and the others who've been fighting a battle for some time now have a personal one to fight because the spoils have gone. Mickey Hammond, who is challenging really seriously for 2nd place in the jockey's title at the moment, has another one notched up here, and he will have plenty to smile about. But the battle for 2nd place, from here it looks as if Old Eros is just about in front. Slightly deceptive, that angle, and I'm going to hedge my bets, but no, I think Old Eros may be 2nd.